I never thought I'd be the girl who'd weave a web of desire to trap 3 hearts, including my own. My name's Riley, and this is my confession, raw and unfiltered, a story of seduction so fierce it burned through my soul and left me in chaos. If you're watching, you're already hooked, drawn to a sin that feels like power until it's a chain around your heart. This isn't about love or redemption. It's about control, the kind that blinds you and begs you to fall. Stay with me because this one's going to sear your soul. It's a tale of college lust and a betrayal I orchestrated. It was a humid September evening in New Orleans, Louisiana, the air thick with jasmine and ambition. I was 19, a freshman at a small liberal arts college, my life a canvas of freedom and temptation. My classmates were easy prey, but I wanted more, a challenge, a thrill. That's when I set my sights on 2 boys in my literature class, Liam and Noah, and later our professor, Dr. Ellis, a man whose quiet authority made my pulse race. Liam was 20, all boyish charm and quick smiles. His hoodie always rumpled his blue eyes, catching mine during lectures. Noah, 19, was quieter, his dark curls and sharp jaw hiding a hunger I could sense. I started with them flirting in the library, my crop top tight, my shorts short, my laugh a baited hook. One night after a study group, I caught Liam alone in the stacks, the air heavy with the scent of old books. "You're too shy, Liam," I teased, leaning close, my hair brushing his arm. His breath hitched, his eyes locking on mine, a spark I fanned into a flame. The library was dim, the campus quiet, the shelves shielding us. I brushed past him, my hand grazing his, the touch deliberate, electric. My heart pounded not with guilt, but with power as his eyes followed me, torn between want and restraint. "Tell me to stop," I whispered, my lips inches from his, my voice daring him to fall. He didn't. His hands found my waist, the cotton soft under his fingers, pulling me closer. The books loomed silent witnesses as I kissed him, fierce and hungry, tasting of coffee and sin. His hands slid up my back, the shelves creaking, each touch a pulse of pleasure and control. Noah was next, a week later in the dorm lounge, the TV flickering, the room empty. I sat close, my thigh brushing his, my smile a weapon. "You're too serious, Noah," I said, my voice low, teasing as I leaned in, my crop top slipping to reveal skin. His eyes darkened, his hands trembling, and I knew I had him. His kiss was slower, deeper, tasting of mint and surrender, his hands gripping my hips, the couch sinking under us. The night was alive, the campus asleep, and I was the hunter, my plan unfolding. But Dr. Ellis was the real prize. He was 40, all quiet intensity, his tailored jackets hiding a frame that made my breath catch. I stayed late after class, my skirt short, my questions bold. "You're too clever, Riley," he said, his voice low, his gray eyes seeing through me. My wedding ring was absent. I was free, but he wore one, a warning I ignored. The classroom was empty, the chalkboard dust heavy. As I stepped closer, my hand grazing his arm. "Tell me to stop." I whispered, my lips near his, my heart racing with the thrill. He didn't. His kiss was a storm, fierce and forbidden, tasting of whiskey and sin, the desk cold behind me. His kiss was a wildfire burning through my calculated plan, igniting a heat I hadn't expected. Dr. Ellis's hands were bold, tugging at my blouse, his fingers grazing my skin through the fabric. The classroom was a haze, the moonlight filtering through the blinds, casting shadows that danced like devils. My hands roamed his chest, the jacket slipping under my fingers, revealing muscle that burned under my touch. The chalk dust stung my lungs, the air thick with desire. His lips were everywhere, my jaw, My throat, each kiss, a claim, each touch, a line crossed. I pulled him toward the desk, the wood hard under my hips, the blinds shielding us from the world. My blouse was gone, discarded in the haze, revealing lace that made his breath catch. My hands slid lower, tracing his belt, his gasps sharp in the quiet room. The thrill was there, sharp and intoxicating, fueling every touch, every move. His hands were on my hips now, unbuttoning my skirt, his fingers leaving trails of fire on my skin. The classroom was our world, the campus a distant hum. I pushed him into the chair, straddling him, the lace a tease I wielded like a weapon. His lips found mine again, hungry, conflicted tasting of whiskey and want. My hands slid under his shirt, his skin warm and taut, his breath hitching as my fingers explored. The moonlight flickered, painting us in silver and shadow, turning our sin into something almost beautiful. But it wasn't. It was raw, deliberate, a collision of my scheme and his surrender. Riley, he murmured my name, a plea pulling me deeper into the fire I'd started. My fingers tangled in his hair, my body pressing into his, a demand he couldn't resist. The night was suffocating, the campus silent as my hands gripped his shoulders, his resolve crumbling under my touch. The pleasure was building a storm I'd planned but couldn't control, raw and relentless, edged with the faint guilt of betraying his wife. When it happened, it was a collision, a wave crashing over us. His groans were sharp, muffled by the classroom walls, my hands holding him tight, our bodies moving as one. The pleasure was fierce, overwhelming, a betrayal that felt like victory. The desk creaked, the night heavy with our heat, my plan unfolding. The classroom watched silent as I crossed a line I'd meant to control. It was everything, every ache, every want, every secret I'd weaponized. Afterward, we stayed there, tangled, breathless, the air heavy with the scent of chalk and us. Dr. Ellis's eyes were dark, torn, his hand resting on my thigh. The guilt hit me now sharper, but my plan held firm. Liam and Noah were stepping stones, but Ellis was the key to my power. This was a mistake, he said, his voice rough, unconvincing. I smiled, slow and wicked, my lips brushing his ear. "It's not over," I said, and I meant it. The campus nights haunted me, my conquests a weight I carried alone. Liam texted constantly, his messages sweet, needy, a reminder of my control. Noah grew bolder, stealing glances in class, his hand brushing mine in the hall. But Dr. Ellis was my focus, his lectures now charged with our secret, his eyes avoiding mine but lingering too long. I pushed further, staying late, my questions laced with intent, my skirt shorter each time. I saw him again in his office, the door locked, the blinds drawn. His eyes were torn, his jacket discarded, his resolve fraying. "We can't," he said, but my touch silenced him, my hand grazing his chest, reigniting the spark. The office was small, the air thick with paper and desire, his shirt open, his skin glowing in the lamplight. His kiss was desperate now, his hands tearing at my blouse, the pleasure raw, edged with pain. The guilt was there sharper, but my power was stronger, my plan unfolding. My roommate Mia grew suspicious. "You're different, Riley," she said one night, her eyes searching mine. I froze, her friendship a contrast to my schemes. "Just stressed?" I lied, my voice tight, my mind flashing to the office, Ellis's hands on my skin. She frowned, sensing the lie, but didn't push. "Be careful," she said, and the words were a weight grounding me for a moment. Liam and Noah started to clash, their jealousy a fire I'd fanned. I met Liam in the library again, his kiss hungry, his hands bold, but I pulled back, keeping him on a leash. Noah cornered me in the dorm, his touch fiercer, his eyes pleading, but I held control, my plan bigger than them. Ellis was the endgame, his marriage a wall I'd break to prove my power. He resisted. "This ends now," he said in his office, his voice rough, his hands gripping my shoulders. "End it, lose my control." The idea was unthinkable, but I saw his wife's photo on his desk, her smile soft, and I faltered, shaking. I pushed forward, telling Ellis we weren't done. He stood in his office, his eyes torn, his shirt open. "You're dangerous, Riley," he said, his voice a warning. He left a pen behind, engraved with his initials, tucked into my bag. I should have thrown it away, but I kept it a secret that burned. The New Orleans heat lingered, and so did my hunger, a fire I couldn't extinguish. Mia confronted me. "You're playing with fire," she said, holding the pen, her voice trembling. I froze, my plan unraveling, her friendship a mirror of my guilt. I confessed not everything, but enough, saying I was chasing a thrill. She left, her silence deafening. Ellis's wife visited campus, her smile warm, oblivious, as he avoided me, his eyes haunted. I was alone, the pen in my hand, his scent a ghost I'd never escape. This is my story, a warning to anyone who thinks they can control fire and not get burned. If you've watched this far, you know that hunger, that ache for power you shouldn't wield. So hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, call me a schemer, a sinner, or just a girl who tried. Like the video or don't, but share it with someone who's felt temptation's sting. Check out my other stories, they're just as raw, just as real. Ever planned a forbidden fire? Spill your secrets below, I'm listening and I've been there.